Are you a starseed, lightworker, or healer, and you struggle with putting yourself out there online or in person because you worry about being criticized or what people will have to say about you? Are you holding back on expressing your truth, on expressing your gifts, because deep down you know that you have a fear? You feel like you have so much to share and you're ready to do it, but something just holds you back. Because if you're being honest with yourself, there's this little voice saying, yeah, but what if? What if someone will figure me out? What if somebody, and when I say being figured out, what I mean is somebody will recognize that you feel like an imposter. So today I'm going to tell you about what I do and how I personally deal with negativity and criticism when it comes to my work. So hi, my name is Amy, Activation Amy. Welcome to my channel. If you've not been here before, welcome back if you have. Thank you for being here, beautiful light family. So I am a Starseed mentor, a light language activation guide, and a quantum hypnotherapist. So I have been putting myself, let's say, out there in the world publicly, probably now for, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 years or something like that. And I've only been doing it, let's say, this as my full-time job for about 2.5 years. Now, for somebody that channels light language, which is still considered very, very out there, very, very, let's say, woo-woo. I don't like that expression at all, but it's still considered, okay, quite, kind of, some people don't know what it is still, right? So it's still being, let's say, integrated into the collective as more and more people are finding out about it. And there's definitely this element of it that can seem a little bit like, to some people that may never have come across it before, quite bizarre. So I'm going to talk to you today about a situation that I recently had, because I know from coaching, right, and from different courses and things like that, that so many of you do want to share your gifts and your services, but there's this deep, deep fear of what happens when I get a shitty comment, right? And that happened to me today, okay? The thing is, I want you to know this. You are going to get shitty comments from time to time. And the sooner that you make peace with this, the better. The sooner that you accept that because you are putting yourself out in the world and because you are being visible, you are going to get some people that will criticize your work, okay? And what I want you to know is this: when it happens, you are going to be okay. It is not going to kill you. It will be a bit uncomfortable, okay? It will be not very nice, but I also want you to know that it gets easier over time, right? In the beginning, when I first started to create videos like this, and when I first started to put my services online, okay, and especially when I went full time, probably about 2.5 years ago, and it became my job, it became my income, right? Like doing this work, yeah. So it's like, then it had more of a weight on it, because it was like, oh my god, everyone's gonna see, what if people saw this comment and now like it's devalued me and like now I'm not worthy, right? So it always comes back to this core belief. It's where you really have to work on strengthening your core beliefs, right? And so in that instance, I had, so in the beginning, I'd probably say I was doing more coaching for like empaths and sensitives, okay? And I remember that I had this one comment from this woman. It was written at about like 2:30 in the morning or something like that. I had this free course out, like thousands of people did this course, and I had so many people give me amazing feedback for it, right? So it was this 3-part course. It was called Emotional Mastery for Highly Empathic sensitive souls or something like that, right? And I had like a Facebook ad on it, and this woman had written on it, was about 2:30 in the morning, and she literally put on my free content, free, yeah, she put, you are basically, you're full of shit, you are a scam artist, and you should be disgusted in yourself for preying on vulnerable people. Okay. Now, as I say, this content was absolutely free. It was like about an hour and a half of me just sharing my truth about my journey, about what I'd been through, and about things that had helped me. And it's very clear to me that when people write things like this, they haven't actually watched your content. I think a lot of the time what happens is they've just seen a little snapshot of what you do. It's triggered something in them, and then it's pushed on their belief systems, and then they've come to an assumption based on their programming about you and what you do. And it may well be that that person has had a bad experience before with somebody else, okay, or she's heard something from somebody else. There's a whole myriad of reasons, right? And a lot of the time, if not all of the time, when people write something like this, they're in a very dark place themselves. They're in a very unhappy place in their lives, okay? Because I will be honest, I cannot ever, and let me know if this is you, think of a time where if I've not resonated with somebody else's work, felt called to write a comment like that, okay? So it says a lot about where they are at, right? And I feel that when this happens, these people need compassion, okay? Now, does that mean that I give my energy to them? Do I engage with them? In 90 to 95% of the instances, I do not engage with people that write comments like this on my work, okay? And there's been many times when I've been this close to getting in a keyboard warrior argument with them. The reason that I do not is because of this. If somebody is criticizing my work, if somebody does not understand the message that I have to give, or they say something like, how is this useful? Or you are, because I'm a channel, okay, I get like people saying things like, you're channeling like fallen angels or entities, and I don't need to prove myself, okay? I know the energy that I'm working with. I don't need to prove to somebody who asks me questions like, how is this useful? If you have watched my content, if you have genuinely spent time watching the full video and you are still writing a comment like, is this useful? If you have not received what I have to give on this video, therefore, my message and my work is absolutely, definitely not for you. And I'm not going to waste my time convincing you that my work or what I have to offer is worthy, because I already know that it is. And my hundreds, if not thousands of clients that have received my work will tell you otherwise. I have hundreds, like many testimonials on my website, okay? Again, I do not need to prove to anybody, and neither do you, because if your intentions are pure, if your heart is good, if you are working out of integrity, and you are considering how the information will land with others, okay? And you are working from a state of compassion, and above all, you are working from a state of service. You know that your message is pure, okay? And these people that write these things, okay, it is just something for you to look at, okay, and to help you to maybe look at where you are still holding on to doubts or limiting beliefs about your services, right? Because everything is a mirror. It means that somewhere in you, there's a slight doubt or fear or something like that, okay? And the more that you share your work, the more that you continue and you don't let these things affect you, you go, okay, that happened. What do I still need to look at, right? Because in order for that to happen, you had to be a match for them, and they had to be a match for you, right? It does not mean that your work is not worthy, okay? We all have imposter syndrome, and you can use these things to your advantage and allow them to help you to rise and to support even more people in the way that I have had, a bit of a comment, and now I'm creating this video. Yeah. And how I deal with these people is I mute them, right? I block them. Okay. Not always. It depends. Some people, you have to tune into the energy. Some people are just curious and they do want to know, right? But you are intuitive. Read into the energy of the comment, right? If it's a genuine curiosity, this is very different, right, from somebody who is not meant to receive your work and is committed to misunderstanding you. Okay? So, you are powerful. Yeah. And you can place boundaries within yourself. I personally do not feel like it is worth engaging with the majority of people that write these things. Okay. Because you have to accept that you are not for everyone. And the more that you can just get on with this, the easier it's going to be. Another good way to think about it is anybody, let's say, that's famous, like a famous celebrity, yeah? In the beginning, there were so many people, for example, let's say the Beatles, right? In the beginning, people told them they were shit, yeah? And that they were never going to amount to anything. And anyone that's ever done anything worthwhile has had this kind of controversy, yes? And just know that if you are doing something different, right, this is going to happen because people are not going to understand you. Some people, right? You are going to have to get okay with being polarizing, right? Some people, it's just not for them. Another good question to ask yourself when this stuff happens is this worth me not sharing my truth and not expressing my gifts? Okay, and the answer is always no, it's not worth it. Why? Because for this one person, there's probably 1,000 people that do need to receive what I have to say and, are meant to hear my work. Okay. The thing is with this work as well, what I want you to know, okay, is that I get it. I'm an incredibly sensitive person. I take things to heart. As a child, I was incredibly sensitive, incredibly emotional, and I'm very, very much still that way, right? And this is why a lot of the people that I work with are also like this. And if you are a channel, if you are a highly sensitive soul, you feel things, you do, and you want everyone to like you, right? But this is people pleasing behavior, and not everyone is going to like you. It's about you liking you. It's about you liking the work that you do, right? And I recognize that to some people, I probably can come across as a crazy person, right? And that's okay. That is okay. Like, that's fine. We're not meant to resonate with everyone. It's about making peace with this. But do not let this be the reason that you do not share your gifts, that you do not share your services, that you do not share your light, right? You have so much to offer. You have so much to give. You are important. Your energy is important. The angels, guides, the beings of light that you work with wish to express through you as well. Source, God, wishes to express through you as well. Okay? So I love you, I see you, and I'm grateful for you sharing your work. And let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. If this does not resonate with you, don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm about. I know the energy and the beings that I'm working with. Thank you. See you soon.